word sponsor is loosely used these days because there is no such thing as a sponsor. If he was inside your business, he'd actually be a shareholder. He wouldn't be a sponsor. And if it was a professional service, okay, he would actually be your agent. He wouldn't be your sponsor. So the sponsor doesn't really come into play. So that terminology needs to be removed from all of our conversations. Okay, the limited liability company, or the LLC as it's known here, is for commercial entities when they're setting up a business. So depending on the specific activity that you have for your company, you'll either be directed towards a professional license, a branch if you're a foreign company, or a limited liability company, which has to be owned, as I mentioned, 51% by the local party and 49% by the foreign party is the maximum ownership in those. Okay. Now everybody is concerned that a UAE national will be holding 51% of their company, but there are ways and means by way of agreements that are put in place that negate the, let's say, the effectiveness of the 51% partner. As the contracts are drafted themselves, it states that there must be 51-49% shareholding, all right? But in terms of profit, it can actually be split 20-80, in some cases even more than that. So you could have 20% profit share to the local party holding 51 and 80 to the 49%. In most cases, what happens is that a UAE national shareholder can actually be a UAE national himself in his individual capacity, or he can be a UAE national as a UAE national company. An LLC that is set up in the UAE must have 2 shareholders. Okay, it cannot have less than 2 shareholders, except in the case of where you have some free zones that allow you to have FZCOs and FZEs that have 1 shareholder. All right. In other parts of the Middle East, like in Bahrain, for example, we have SPCs, which are single-person companies. What we are actually expecting in the new companies law, which has been scheduled to be released now for quite some time, we're expecting there will be SPC companies as well, so single-person companies that will be released in the UAE, which will help a lot to those people not wanting to have 2 people in a limited liability company.